Hello, David Paul here. It's so bright I can barely see if the counter is moving on this video, so I'm not absolutely sure I'm even filming. I think I am. Anyway, I'm here in Gabao, and I thought it would be interesting to just show you the kind of scenery I'm living in. This is a perfectly ordinary kind of town in the provinces of Sorsogon. And the only thing I kind of know about Sorsogon really is that I watched a video on TV about a giant whale shark swimming in Sorsogon Bay, or around Sorsogon anyway. And other than that, I know nothing about it. But we have, like as I've said in a previous video, we got, I think I did, an evacuation centre for volcanoes and earthquakes and things like that. Now there, at the bottom of our road, this is the main highway in the town, is a stonking big volcano. It's quite obviously that is the big tamale round here. Clouds on the top and everything. And very sharply defined, not worn down by ice or snow or erosion or anything, so it's quite new. Covered with, I guess it's probably rainforest of some sort up there. And I don't think there are many people up there, just all those trees, you know. So anyway, maybe one day I'll go up there, I'll climb that. If there's a pathway, I'll walk up it, otherwise I'm not climbing up it with pickaxes and stuff. But this is a strange place. Very, very nice people. And the only thing that it puts me in mind of is Harrogate. It's a sort of genteel place in the countryside. And so this is kind of has that Harrogate kind of feel, like nothing strange going on here, like a very ordinary kind of place, you know. Nothing exciting, but then again nothing terribly distressing either. You know, your kids can play out in the street on the main road. They're not going to come to any harm or anything like that. So that's Gabao anyway. Central Gabao. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around and show you something else, which is, it struck me as an oddity, but let's take a walk down the road with my new daughter here. Martina, Sakin, take Daddy's hand. There you go, that's a good girl. Right, so as we walk down the road towards the end of the town, here is a peak hill thing, and what these are, most likely what this is a volcanic outflow. You get, like, a volcano is like a spot on the earth, you know, like a big boil, I would say, and it bursts. But in addition to the main volcano, you often get these side leakages, like sort of mini volcanoes in a circle around them, which also build up these hills. And I find this rather attractive, actually, having, you know, a mini volcano in your back garden, sort of thing. And there it is. And that's I don't know, a few hundred meters high, but it's quite obvious the origin of it, because it's got this angle to it, which implies that it's sloped down, and so that's the slope angle of the volcanic lava, and there it is. So this must have been a dramatic place not so long ago. I don't even know. Maybe somebody can tell me. Magandang hapon. Alam mo ba kailan ang huling eruption ng volcano dito? Hindi mo alam? No, you just know. I don't. You know, folks don't. They're not so introspective as me. You know, they're just. If the bloody thing's not blowing up at the minute, they're not concerned about the history of volcanic activity in the area. But anyway, so let's walk up and take a look. You all right, baby? Can't put her on camera. I really wish I could. She's so cute. But I don't want to upset him with a putting her on YouTube before I ask her. We'll have a big show together if things all work out. Dear God, I hope so. I'm very fond of these kids, to say the least. So there you go. Gabao Barangay Hall. Barangay Hall is like your local council. It's a very small local council. And the guy who is the boss of the Barangay Hall, he's not called like a mayor or something. They call him a barangay captain. Interesting term. The term barangay is actually an original Malay word for a boat. So when Filipinos arrived here about 3,000 years ago and colonized the Philippines from Malaysia, they carried with them their language, which then morphed into a totally different language, Tagalog and all the other 157 languages, I think. All the other different languages, but a remnant word there is that word there, barangay, meaning a boat. And interesting to note that the guy's called a captain. So maybe the word captain got switched from Malaysian into English and he got called the captain, as we would call him, barangay captain. Now the standard of construction here is like, you know, like everything, it's in need of repair, but it's not number one priority. Your number one priority in the Philippines is just putting food on the table, day by day. And then you start to worry about planting flowers in your garden and things like that. Things have to get down stable before you start worrying about the appearance of your garden or whatever. But I think as a Westerner, and anybody who does this, you know, gets involved with Filipinos, if you can bring in some of your priorities and start planting, you know, flowers and things like that, and improving the environment, anything you can do to improve the environment, because you're not under their pressure, and make it better for them. And I do believe that if you improve the environment, the quality of life and the standard of living of people starts to go up. I don't know why that is, but I just do think it is. There's a fruit tree in full fruit. I don't know what that is. No, I have no idea. Probably one of the citrus fruits. Maybe it's a grapefruit or something like that. So now there's an interesting thing. This is a recently this here house, I'm a bit pushed now because I've now got 4 kids to support. So I'm going to have to like figure out ways of cutting to the chase and doing things simpler. And I'm looking at that house there, and that is one of the options. They have these bamboo panels, and they're only about 200 pesos each, which is about £3, you know, really cheap. So that house would have cost a few £100. The roof is thatched with it's thatched with coconut leaves, and then underneath they have this intricate stitched thing which is called an anahaw leaf. Now an anahaw leaf, the one underneath, that's the decorative one up there, underneath where the ceiling would be, that anahaw leaf is it's a palm but with like a big flat hand shape, you know, so that you can overlay them like that, like fish scales, and they form that like attractive underlayer. And then on top of that you can then put the palm leaves, and they've done one hell of a good job of that. I'm really surprised at that. And they've put a mesh over the top. That's like English thatching, it's so good. Now I didn't want to do this because I thought, nah, it's not going to last very long, you know. But I was told by my sister-in-law on Talikud that they did a roof a few years back, and for chickens or whatever, and it lasted 10 years. So my God, you know, if it lasts 10 years, what the hell, you know? What am I going to worry about? But this here, I'm well impressed with this house. So you get your panels, and you just basically just stand them up like that, and then you nail them together with these lats to support it. I always found this attractive from the way back watching a movie. It was with John Wayne and Lee Marvin, and they were always fighting, and Lee Marvin or John Wayne comes out of his house near the beach, and it's made just like this kind of a bamboo house. This is bamboo. This is genuine bahay kubo, original bahay kubo type of house. Anyway, he comes out the door, and it's made out of this, and I thought, man, that would be pretty cool to live in a house like that. That's so cheap and easy to make, and it, you know, if something happened to it, you needn't worry, you could build another one, no big deal. So I liked that. That was good. And I always fancied living in one of them. I came to the Philippines 25 years ago, and I went to a place called Tiril. They had no air conditioning. So what I did, there's a place, like a room just for sleeping in. You call it a tulagan, a sleeping place. And there was a boy in there, and I just like jumped in and slept beside this young kid, like, and he's now my nephew, Mark, and he's a great big strapping, chunky looking lad who throws pigs around and stuff, and all he cares about is pigs because he makes a lot of money off pigs, and that's his business. But it's funny to think back, I slept in that tulagan, and it was so fresh and cool. I didn't have any choice. It was either that. If I didn't lie down in that room at that moment, I'd have just fallen over and like gone unconscious, because I was just so tired. I was so incredibly jet lagged. But so that was the tulagan, and that was a bahay kubo tulagan. So at that point I got the idea, like, what the hell are we living in concrete houses for? The thermal capacity of this house is virtually nothing, you know. So it models the outside temperature. It just stays no warmer than outside. It doesn't build up heat like a concrete house and cook you overnight. And yet Filipinos are obsessed with the idea of living in concrete houses. So if you got some money, don't build a concrete house, build one out of good wood, you know. Get some teak and build it out of that, which is probably a lot more durable than the concrete, because concrete isn't as durable as you might think. In the Philippines, it gets, I mentioned this before, it gets concrete cancer, and it bursts open, the rebar inside gets rusty and it bursts to bits, so it doesn't last forever. This is how you normally construct. You build your vertical posts, which is your earthquake protection, reinforced posts and stuff, and then you build the breeze blocks in between, which has virtually got no strength at all, but it doesn't matter, and then you render it over with concrete. Magandang hapon, kumusta kayo? Ito para sa YouTube channel, channel ito. Yeah. Kawili-wili yan bahay doon, ang bahay kubo. Yeah, that house is interesting over there. Yeah, maganda sa akin. Ang pinakamabuti sa akin, mas gusto ko yan kay mga concrete bahay. It's the best to me, like, it's much better than the concrete houses, is what I said. Bakit hindi gusto mo ng mga bahay kubo? Mas gusto mo ng concrete? Mas durable, alam ko. Mas gusto ko ang bahay kubo para sa tulog. I much prefer concrete houses for sleeping in.
Kubo, gusto ko.
Yeah. Gusto mo? Anyway. Oo. Para sa bahay ko sa Talikod Island. Gumawa ko ng bahay kubo doon. Sa Talikod Island, sa deep na ng Gulf ng Mindanao.
Mindanao?
Yeah. Sa Sa Davao, Gulf ng Mindanao, Hindi. Gulf ng Davao, the Gulf of Davao. That's where my house is, in the Gulf of Davao. On Talikod Island. I'm telling them that I'm building a house, a bahay kubo. Anyway, do you know my YouTube channel? Where's David Paul? Sansi David Paul. Where's David Paul on YouTube channel? I'm picking up subscribers here. That's sneaky, isn't it? You tell him what his channel is, so that he'll take a look and then he might subscribe. My subscribers are slowly going up. This is a sorry store. We have them all over the place. You have like just bits and bobs like Coca-Cola, crisps, sort of snacky type things that you forgot to buy at the main shops. De Niro's store. Anyway, well, are you back? Nothing else I can say. And that's it. One last view down the village. Is it a village or is it's a town really? And that's it. So, sige na. Bye for now. Jesus be with you.